I want to talk about Al Gore right now. The Democrats have put out Attack Watch. We're going to be covering this tonight. And they say if anybody criticizes the president, help stop the attacks before they start. And it's a really creepy globalist operation run by BarackObama.com, by the White House. And it's acting like it's illegal to criticize the president. Now, I'm going to play this clip tonight on the Nightly News. We have them out of Vermont and Missouri and Illinois, where they went on the air during the presidential election and said, talking bad about him is now illegal. And they had cops in uniform saying this. And every time I mention it, I get emails saying, that's not true, Alex. You're making that up. Oh, yeah, watch tonight. We're going to play clips of the newscast. And here it is. I mean, these people aren't playing games. And now citizens are being arrested all over the country to try to protest Obama. You know, Obama's coming to town. There's all these people cheering. And there's one person with a placard. I saw this just last week, and they arrest you. They say, sorry, no protest. Oh, but you're allowed to sit there and go, yay, when the bus drives by. This is so evil. I'm going to try to not get angry. Our First Amendment is getting torched, ladies and gentlemen. And this pig, Al Gore, sits up there. I'm going to play this video. I got so mad before the show today. He has his 24 hours of lies, his 24 hours of con artistry, his 24 hours of baloney, his 24 hours of horse manure. He lies about everything. Invented the internet. Sea levels are going to rise. Didn't happen. Don't have a big carbon footprint. Palaces all over the place. NAFTA and GATT are going to be great. I mean, he is such a con artist. You look at him. He created it with Ken Lay. I've got all these videos of Al Gore saying there'll never be a tax under carbon. And then I've got all his memos where he said it would be a tax and now admits it. He is a total criminal. A total con man. And I'm sick of his bold, smug face. And here's the good news, you piece of trash, Gore. Even you've admitted at Aspen Institute and other places that you're laughed at everywhere. You're a laughing stock. Now they're running this video. It's 24 hours of reality. Yeah, a parallel reality of hell and lies, where they're lecturing everyone about oil companies run all this. The big...
What can change in a day? A street can become a river.
Oh, yeah.
A mountain can become a mudslide. A forest can become kindling. Across the globe, cataclysmic weather events are occurring with such...
Shut him up! Man, that Nelly con artist voice makes me want to throw up. Nothing worse than a Southern man with that little Nelly thing they got going, man. I can't handle it. Listen. Listen, punk, okay? Look at how he's playing people. A forest fire. A street can become a river. That's always happened. There's always been wildfires. There's always been lightning strikes. There's always been storms. He got on air last week and said the hurricane in New York was man-made, global warming, and that hurricanes don't hit New York. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a history buff. Hurricanes have always hit New York. He talks to you like you're a moron. Let's continue with him fear-mongering. And again, paying him money, he says he'll fix it, and shutting down our power plants that are a lot cleaner than China's. Remember
that it's being called a new normal. But there's nothing normal about it. And there's something else that lies destroyed amid the rubble. The truth about climate change. Big oil and big coal are spending big money to spread doubt about climate change. They've been able to do so quietly, but not anymore.
All right, that's enough.
On September...
They've been able to do so quietly. Every major oil company, including the one you had, Occidental, financed this garbage. 3 years ago, one company wouldn't do it. And when Exxon merged with Mobil, David Rockefeller went to the board meeting, it was in the Associated Press, and said, you will be relieved if you don't get behind carbon taxes. You can read that in the Associated Press. And Rex Tillerson came out and said it's all real. Every oil company's for it. Let me just play the Al Gore thing from the start, and then I'll just comment after we played some of it. But it makes me want to vomit. This lying, lecherous blob, this dirty con artist, oil company head, who wants the power to shut down his competition and shut down coal. It is true that coal, the one true thing in this has been funding studies and things saying, hey, we only put out carbon dioxide and water vapor, which is true now with the clean burning systems, and we supply 51% of your power. Obama said he wants to bankrupt us America, China's building 3 of these a week. We only are allowed to build about 3 a year. Do you think this is a good idea? But oil is globalist, completely consolidated. They want to shut coal down. Bill Clinton laid off, it was some giant amount of acreage, remember in the late 90s, in Utah, of clean burning coal. And when that happened, it doubled the stocks overnight of the Chinese company he was heavily invested in and that had donated to his campaign, because they had the only other large deposit of the same clean burning coal that under regulations you had to have for your power plants. See, that's how you increase wealth in a controlled system. You shut down the competition, and you shut down the power plants, and then people have to pay you more for less. And Al Gore makes it a cute religion, where that big, obese, lying piece of trash, literal America-hating, deindustrializing piece of garbage. I just don't even have words to describe how filthy this pig-like liar is. This Kinley-worshipping con man. Oh, it makes me sick. I mean, this guy wants to kill our industrial system. He's already done a great job. He's the hitman on America. You talk about an economic hitman, he's it. Now, let's go back to this Nelly lying snake that mindless little neo-Nazi fascist liberals love to worship.
Fossil fuel interests have money, influence, control, but together we have something that they don't. Reality. Join us for 24 hours of reality and show the world what can change in a day.
I mean, how ridiculous. They cut to this legendary, lying, slimy con man. And he goes, let me try to get in Nelly mode. We have something they don't. Me and Rick Perry do. We have reality. Let me condescendingly sit up here on a high horse and show an image of the world. We have all the scientists. There's no scientist that don't believe that carbon dioxide is a deadly poison. And if you just let me run your live with Ken Lay that came up with the scam, I'll take care of you. Al Gore. What a sickening filth bag. And the good news is he's hanging on by his fingernails. They're trying to go ahead with their condescending. You know, he said we've got to confront the deniers. And I've seen the news articles about arrest Lord Monckton. In fact, get me Lord Monckton. I know Dew's been dallying with it, but get him on the radio. Get him on the radio. I want him to respond to the man bear pig who isn't living in false reality. He lives in lies. This radio show, Infowars.com, is about action. It's about being involved, being informed, and standing up to con artists. Earlier, I played some clips of Al Gore's lecturing, high horse, how any disaster, any problem, any dust storm, any fire is the result, any flood of human activity. When carbon dioxide is much lower than it's ever been recorded in history. That's what's crazy. Carbon dioxide. And they've taken reasonable environmental steps over the last few decades and are playing on ignorance by listing carbon dioxide as a pollutant. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what humans exhale. It's a total dictatorship over all life on Earth and a distraction from all the real environmental issues. If you saw Al Gore on TV saying genetically modified organisms have been leaked in, and then show 200 studies to infertility in all rodent species it's given to, we need human clinical trials now. But incidentally, we see human fertility dropping as well. But it takes more than 20 years for a generation to be shown to be infertile. So by the time it happens, we'll be several generations in. This is a crisis. I'd be, wow, Al Gore's really woken up. And if you're going to do something about GMO, maybe you're just misled about carbon. And I'm all for new energies. Let's force ourselves onto something new. The oil companies wrote the stinking thing. See, they put out these false narratives. And then people believe it. I get these emails every day going, man, you're paid by the oil companies, you piece of trash. Oh, we're going to get you. And I'll send an email back. Please show me the proof. I'm funded by sponsors and by subscribers to PrisonPlanet.tv and people that buy the books, the videos, the ball caps, the bumper stickers, all the the water filters at Infowars.com. Okay? I don't have big Fortune 500 or Fortune 100 or Fortune 1000 sponsors, but we've tried to get them. In fact, I'm so busy, I actually had a big sponsor actually approach me as of late. I mean, not too big, but an American-made company. The point is is that they throw it back in your court. You're paid by big oil. And then you go look at who funds the environmental power grab movement. And it's Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan. Go look who the biggest funder of the Nature Conservancy and all these land grab groups and carbon tax and these climate councils. And it's Lord Rothschild. And you find out they own the carbon exchange that you buy the carbons from. And already Australia is buying tens of billions of dollars of these a year. Just, here's money, Rothschild. Can I now have flatulence for my cows and sheep? Folks, you can pull up Australian news. They have home police inspections now. Like, they won't believe it. Just type in Green Police Australia, and it's big articles. They have flatulence taxes now in Australia and Canada. And I've had Canadians send me emails and goes, where's that? You didn't know? They've added now a tax onto farmers when it goes into effect next year for the flatulence of cows. They're now saying methane is unnatural. There's always been creatures with the intestines that we have, but fish pass gas, primates, rodents, marsupials, whales, and they get up and go, methane is a toxic waste. What? There it is. Australia's carbon police may enter premises. And that doesn't mean they may, like they have the power. It doesn't mean they may come. It means they may. They say they have that power. And it just goes on. I know that was all over the Australian news. So they tax flatulence of animals. They tax the carbon dioxide that comes out of plants. And I've seen Bill Gates. I played the clip. And I've seen the New York Times. In fact, Google New York Times, a tax to breathe or paying to breathe. And they said, yeah. See, they take something absurd and go, yeah, we are going to tax you to breathe. It's for the earth.